Start your vocals.
Bomb. My vocals?
Do the My Singing Monsters theme.
Bum. Bum bum. 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 Bum.
That fills me with nostalgia.
Bum.
What was the other one? It was like, ugh. Oh no! No, I was thinking the what's it called? The Supercell, like the one where it's like.
Oh yeah.
Sounds of what are the other games that they have?
Bum 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 bum.
There's so many other ones. Anyways, hello everyone. Welcome.
Are you putting that in?
What was our podcast name again?
Corner of the party.
I keep forgetting it myself. I think it's like something else.
Nope, it's Corner of the Party.
It's Corner of the Party. Welcome to episode 1. This is the very first numero uno.
Number 1.
Yeah, of the podcast. We're literally here in my basement filming this because we have no actual set.
Filming this.
We have no recording it. I don't know. We have no booth. We have nothing. We are literally started from the ground, bottom of the ground, and we're gonna be making our way up. But I don't know about that at this rate because I don't know what the future holds. Maybe this will be a failed podcast, like how I am a failed streamer, which we'll get into more later on.
You don't stream.
Because I don't stream. But anyways, welcome everyone. This is your host, Gabe, and with me I have your co-host.
Hi, I'm the co-host, Enzo.
So, yes, the topic of the entire podcast. What was the title of the actual thing? Oh yeah.
Of the podcast or the episode?
No, this episode in particular. They don't know we started a podcast, yeah.
Oh.
This was literally so if you guys saw like the starting image or like, the cover photo of the actual podcast itself, of course it's actually drawn by Gomi. Of course, shout outs to Gomi. Amazing artist. Shout outs to Gomi. Awesome guy. We play COD with each other a lot, but I mean you should really join in our sessions, honestly.
I don't have COD, nor do I want to play.
True. That's a reasonable reason. But anyways, go follow him. Cool guy. He's on Twitter. I think he streams. I don't know. He streams occasionally. At least more than me. That's all I can say. For sure. Because I keep coping with the fact that I'm a failed streamer. But yeah. Cool guy. That cover image of the soy jacks and all that, that resonates with me. That's literally
me.
No, quite literally. Well, it's literally us drawn in that style. Because this literally came to me, like the whole topic and the whole reason why I chose the title of Corner of the Party, and also just thinking about making a podcast. This podcast has been coming to me for a while. The idea of this has resonated with me for a while. I just needed someone who was of course, meaning to share that same energy with me, and who better than honestly me and Enzo making a podcast right now.
So
we are literally the embodiment of people in the corner of a party. I would literally just sit there, my introverted butt would literally just sit in the corner most of the time, just checking Twitter, or of course sipping a drink, as in the cover image, right over here. Honestly, I don't know if you would do the same. Honestly, would you?
I probably would. I'd be around, but probably the corner is the safest part of a party.
I think he's a little bit more extra. He's probably lying. I don't know.
I'd stand there and not make you feel bad.
He probably is making me he's trying to at least make me feel a little bit better, but I don't think it's working because he's trying to cover it so.
I'm trying too hard.
Anyways, yeah, that was literally. I want to go into more of how I came up with the idea because, like, this literally came into me like as a 2 a.m. Tell him the story because I texted this to you one time, or like I think I messaged you on Discord about it because I told you, hey, do you want to be a podcast host?
It was definitely like out of nowhere. Hey, do you want to start a podcast? Thought or just like some idea that came out of nowhere that I was just like, yeah, I'd be down for that. Do you have any ideas for it yet? And he said, no, I just thought of it. Just a thought. I might act upon it later.
Yeah, and
then, he did.
Literally, we are here today because I just said, like, and then I think at the 2 a.m. You want to tell him the 2 a.m. story about, like, that I thought about?
No, it's your story. You go ahead.
The 2 a.m. story. Okay, well, the 2 a.m. story, he knows about it too because this is coming out, like, literally to the public, like, for the first time. For people who are actually just listening or tuning into this for the first time.
Force generous.
But literally, I hit him up, like, I think the day after, or I was like, I think it was like in my second semester or my first semester of sophomore, which pretty much was last semester. I was like really depressed at that time, and I was like, I need to like think of like, you know, just fun stuff in general. And then I thought about the podcast, and I was like, wait, if I'm that much of an introvert, and I thought about the soy jack and all that, I thought the perfect thing was that why not call the podcast Corner of the Party? Because literally, the soy jack is literally in the corner of the party, and like this resonates with me like so much. And it was such a good idea that I was like, we should do this and title this first episode, They Don't Know We Started a Podcast.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I don't know. It literally, destiny, fate, I would say, just came to me and just said, name it this. Who knows if it'll be banger. But we're sitting here now just recording this now. Hopefully this will become a banger. But that's just dreams and speculation for now. But
yeah. We're finally recording it. I've been making a bunch of excuses that are kind like they're not excuses. I have actual valid reason for making them, but I've just been busy. Like around the time that Gabe was like, "Oh, we should start a podcast," I was down for it. A lot of stuff came up all at once, and then when I thought I was free, I wasn't. And then when I wasn't free, I wasn't free. So
that was honestly the same with me because I was like, I had to deal with the car, I had to deal with classes, I had to deal with, God forbid, organizations I cannot name publicly. But other than that, I mean, I have just been busy. It hasn't been great because I've just that semester was probably one of the darkest times, like since senior year of like high school, because mentally I wasn't doing great like once COVID started, and also I felt the same way like that time. But it was just the darkest time, and then the light that came to me was literally the idea of the podcast. So here we are today, finally getting it done, finally having the expectations that we wanted, and we're here to actually do it.
And what are those expectations that you have for this podcast?
Good thing that you prefaced that, because I was just about to ask that right now. But expectations. So I don't know. Like, I just hope, like, you know, this probably might just be an outlet for like me personally, just to like project my own thought. Because I like a lot of people, they know me, but I don't express I'm not that much of an outward guy unless like I'm speaking indirectly or to someone I really do trust, which of course me and Enzo have been knowing each other for a long time. So of course this is like the perfect way to kind of project those kinds of ideas or like, you know, just thoughts in general, because we know each other. And like indirectly, I feel like more indirect, like I can just at least like people can relate to me, or like in general they can kind of like, you know, talk to me, like even like, you know, here and there, or to say, oh, I heard about this in the podcast. Or that's one of the stuff that I've kind of been wanting to accomplish for some time. Another thing is, I kind of want, like, this may be a little bit selfish, but I need this for my clout. I've been falling off so much recently. I've been falling off ever since Elon took out over Twitter, and also the Twitter algorithm has just been hating me. It just hasn't been too good. For context, I don't like to brag about this because, like, even then, I was, like, of course, a Twitter, like, famous person, that kind of person, and I was like, oh my god, I have so many followers. Oh my god, like, off anime Twitter. That is not something I was proud of. Like, that's something that I look back upon, and I'm not really that proud about.
A niche internet micro-celebrity.
Yeah, I don't talk about that nowadays, because I'm kind of disappointed.
Those were dark times.
But I mean, other than that, I mean, I just hope this would be acting as a platform to, of course, give us some, like, more, like, clout for both of us. Just, like, hopefully, I know you haven't been that inclined to be a creator, but I do know you mentioned, like, you do some streaming, like, occasionally and all that. So, I mean, hopefully this can actually be an outlet for you too. Because that's what I've been trying to, like, see. Because I want to see if we can make something where, like, people can enjoy or tune in just in casual times and just hear, like, a little bit of a conversation about, like, an indirect conversation. Not saying about the parasocial stuff. Look. Don't be too weird. Don't be too weird about the parasocial stuff, okay? I'm not going to be Ludwig and say, I'm not your friend. Look, I'm that much of a Ludwig fan. I'll just say that. But anyways...
I'll say that. I'm not a Ludwig fan.
Who's your favorite streamer then?
Who's my favorite streamer? Okay, I don't watch many streamers. I don't watch many podcasts. I don't listen to many podcasts, I guess. I don't do a whole lot of that. But I do... and I'm trying to remember who I actually have ever watched streaming. Yeah. Because the one of the guys who I watched hasn't streamed or posted anything on YouTube in a while. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you care about me name dropping anyone. Not that I'm talking about them negative. Yeah, the opposite, actually. But I mean, like, the closest thing to a podcast I indulge in is Critical Role, and I haven't done that in months, or I haven't watched them in months. Mm-hmm. I've watched a few of Joe Cat's streams. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know who that is.
I think you mentioned a lot of like D&D tubers or like like streamers or something like that.
Yeah, well, creators. He made a crap guide to D&D, but he also streams other stuff that are in, like, he makes other content. He made the D&D stuff not once, but like in one area, and he has his games, but he's not just a D&D person. Whereas Critical Role is only D&D.
I think you mentioned about like the homebrew stuff that he made too. Or like, I don't know who made that, but there's like a bunch of homebrew stuff when you were introducing me to trying to like make a D&D.
Oh yeah, that might have been somebody else, but I do remember bringing him up. Mm-hmm. As far as other like streamers or podcasters go, I'm not 100% sure. Like, I'll watch you sometimes whenever you decide to stream, but that doesn't happen very often, yeah. But, yeah, I think that's about it.
I hope, like, honestly, or do you have any other expectations, honestly? I don't know if you...
Do I have any expectations? I don't know, it's just kind of something to do for fun, something to be entertaining to people.
That's true.
Give me something to do, because I am, a lot of the time, a lot of the time I'm not very busy, and things are just kind of... The days kind of pass by, so yeah. If I can do something that entertains me and you and some other people, if possible, then I'd say it's a job well done.
Yeah, that's also the same thing that, like, I think the main three things that I had. I know the first, like, one of the other ones was kind of selfish because saying like, oh, I want to use this for my clout, but I mean, at the same time, I'm just doing this for fun because I just want to like at least entertain some people and just hope like we can build a good community and just have some fun or interact with some people.
I don't particularly need the clout, but I respect this. Respect the grind.
Respect the grind.
But no, it's like, yeah, like you were saying, do it for the people.
Yeah, just do it for, like, just a small audience. Maybe, who knows? Maybe this podcast will probably blow up overnight. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, this, like, podcast, honestly, I have been getting this in the works for so long. I'm so happy that I actually, like, decided to do this today, because we can actually be here to talk about all these different stuff and all that, and just like be able to just get a little bit more chill hours, honestly, with each other, because we haven't hung out that much, but also at the same time, we're able to get through this. But other than that, let's see. I keep forgetting about ideas and all that. Oh yeah, merch.
Don't talk about
merch. Don't talk about merch. No, because I remember there was like another podcast, not to be named, but they talked about like, oh, if we get like enough clout, we're gonna make merch, and I'm like, bro, you literally have like 6 people.
Yeah, well, we don't have any right now, so maybe
that's,
just hold off on the merch talk.
Maybe we can hold this out. Who knows? But they were doing it live. I mean, to be fair.
Oh,
which. I don't know if you want to do a live podcast, like, for, like, smaller creators and all that.
Yeah, it doesn't work out very well, probably.
Well, I mean, because you can't get a VOD, because they were doing it on Twitch too, and I'm like,
oh,
I don't know if you want to do it on Twitch. I actually, because I'm tryharding.
Yeah.
I am tryharding so hard that, like, I just want to get this. By the time I have this, maybe this will be published on Spotify. Maybe this will be on Google. Maybe this will be on YouTube.
I mean, we could probably if it's going to go on YouTube, it's up to us.
No, it's definitely going to be on YouTube for sure. But, I mean, I was hoping to see if we can publish this on, like, Spotify and all that. So that way we can just, like, be up with the big ones. Because
up with the big ones.
Yeah, up with the big ones. I'm a regular, like, yard. Well... Like, with long drives, like, I usually listen to the yard because, like, you need something to at least keep you awake.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
with long drives for me personally,
I need something to keep me awake, so I'm not putting on a podcast. I'm putting on music. I'm drinking water.
Water.
I'm doing something. But listening to podcasts is, like, it's peaceful to me, which is why I have a hard time watching them.
Yeah.
Because you go into a podcast with something that you're interested in and something that you're, like, interested in learning more about and maybe interested in doing for yourself. Mm-hmm. And it's just, like, for me personally anyway, I'm listening to it and I'm getting tired. Like, the constant voice, the constant talking is getting me in a very, like, comfy mood.
That's what I figure about, like, some other things, like, some other people. Some people, like, it's either you get tired of it over time. That's what I was going to follow up with, because... Like, me, like, if I find the topic really interesting, I just, like, I get hyper-focused on it, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, that sounds cool. And then, it's like with music, if I listen to a track, like, I'm a very repeat music kind of guy. If I listen to a track, I was like, this is banger, I will put this on repeat once more. And then I start listening to multiple times, and I get tired of, like, ugh, this track is... I love this track so much, but at the same time, I don't want to listen to it so much.
Because then you over-listen to it, and it becomes, like, a bad taste in your mouth.
Exactly, yeah. That's just how it is with, like, most tracks. And especially, like, for pop-off tracks. That's what I've noticed for, like, when I go to tournaments and all that. Like, I usually have, like, a pop-off playlist. I have, like, only, like, a few songs, because I want to make sure I pop off to the best songs. But at the same time, it's not as strong as I listen to it, like, multiple times on end. Like, the first tournament or something like that, I feel like a god, pretty much. And then afterwards, like, when I listen to that track multiple times in the next few tournaments, I'm like, I need a new pop-off track.
Yeah.
Honestly. But...
A lot of my playlists are full of, like...
So I have a big playlist that has a lot of music on it, and it's all the music it's my quote-unquote main playlist.
Yeah.
But it has all the music I've liked listening to from the ages of probably, like, 15, 16 to now.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have a whole, like, set track, but you can tell where my music taste starts changing and where it becomes super, super chaotic, because 1, 2, 3 songs I listen to over the span of a week, and then I jump right into a different different songs, different music.
I feel like you're not far off because I know some people have like playlists like that because I know I've heard some people like here and there it's like they have just like why is this track in here or something like that. It's like because of course there's gonna be some inconsistencies here and there and I feel like I'm the same way with making playlists and all that, which is why I usually like realize like this like I go halfway through and I'm like wait this playlist sucks and I just scrap it and just make an entirely new one.
On the contrary, I don't scrap any playlist I've ever made. I have 35 playlists on Spotify right now.
He has. Have you? You've seen my Spotify.
Have you seen?
Yeah, you saw my Spotify playlist. It was like, I realized it sucks, and I was like, I'm just gonna scrap it.
I have music for. I get that. I get if you make a playlist and it doesn't stick.
Yeah.
Because I've done that before, where I'm like, okay, I gotta change this playlist. I gotta change the name of it. Gotta change whatever. Because it doesn't feel natural.
Yeah.
So I've got playlists for like video game music, for like a cabaret style music. I have music or playlists for all those, and I have felt like I've made a playlist where it's like, yeah, no, this doesn't stick. So I delete some songs off it, add different songs that might give it a better feel, and it works a lot better. So. I love making Spotify playlists.
Yeah, I can tell I saw his playlist. He has so much more music than I do. I just have either like small taste in music, like cuz rhythm game brain, and also like I try to dabble a little bit more because like, I've been wanting to at least expand my tastes a little bit more. Beyond weeb stuff.
Probably for the best.
Yeah. Speaking about that, I've become an anti-weeb little bit more. I've been slowly transitioning to like distance myself from
slowly.
being a weeb. You've seen it through the years.
Yeah.
Over time. Because I try to like distance myself from the weebs. It feels weird to like say that, oh yeah, I was a weeb.
Yeah.
It's like...
He's using that term in an insultive manner. So
exactly.
if you're listening, you can be insulted. It's okay.
Look, I'm calling you out. I'm sorry. I'm calling you guys out. For those of you guys who are being weebs, I'm sorry. You guys are kind of nerdy.
But yeah, it's definitely been
a change throughout the years. I've noticed it. The little bit that the little bit that I observe your nature is...
Yeah, I know.
It changes. People's nature changes.
It rapidly changes for me. But speaking about nature, speaking
segue.
about change, speaking about ages.
A little worse segue.
It was your birthday the other week, wasn't it?
It was my birthday at an undisclosed date by the time this podcast gets uploaded.
So you guys better wish Enzo a very belated birthday. By the time this episode airs, which is going to be a very, very long time, or I don't know, I'll probably get it done within the next week.
By the time this episode airs, I will have had a birthday.
Yeah,
so.
He will have had a birthday, at least like a couple or like, at least a month or like a few weeks prior to actually his thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, why don't you talk about your birthday with us?
Yeah, so it was a birthday. It was pretty good. I don't know what else I could talk about it. It was just a normal birthday. Went out to eat with my family. That was pretty fun. Mm-hmm. Got a break from my class that I'm taking. That was pretty fun. But yeah, I feel this actually was one of the only birthdays where I felt... Before the birthday, I felt like I was already that age. Because like usually when you turn whatever age, you just feel the same.
You just feel, yeah.
But I've been feeling like I'm that age for a long time.
Yeah.
So
that was, it's weird because like, just being like 20 seems like, I just feel like, old right now. It's like for us right now, we feel so old.
You feel like you should be a lot older.
I know. No, because like being 18 was like, so short of time ago, and I was like, it's like now we're adults now. What? Yeah. Hello? What is going
Being adults is crazy.
I know, and we get to go out drinking and all that.
Drinking, gambling, voting.
Voting.
Those crazy nights
voting
on the
was
town
16.
voting. Yeah, maybe for you.
Maybe for you.
No, I was voting 16 or was voting 18?
It was 16. Yeah, it was definitely 16, I think. Yeah. And then 18 was 16 was you can drive, you can vote.
16 was you can drive.
Yeah, and then what was 18? 18 was you can smoke. But
you can buy mature video games at 18.
You can buy. That was at 17 though. They changed it.
Oh yeah, they did change it.
Yeah, that was 17. That was a while ago. But
you can
even then,
smoke when you're 18.
Yeah. Even then, no kids like listen to that anymore. They just ask their parents, "Oh, can I buy Call of Duty?"
So I get a story about that actually. So, me and my friend, we were in middle school, and I know that because I hadn't talked to him since middle school.
Yeah.
So it was probably like 6th, 7th grade.
Yeah.
I wanted to get, or I guess he wanted to get rather.
Yeah.
He wanted to get. I think it was an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah.
And obviously the Assassin's Creed games are rated M.
Uh-huh.
So, not thinking anything of it, me and him picked it off the shelf. This is a GameStop at a mall.
Oh, of course.
Picked it off the shelf, walked up to the guy and was like, "Hey, can we buy this?" And the guy looks at us and says, "No."
No.
He says no and stares at us. So we were both like shocked, like, "Oh, why did we just get refused service? Isn't this a store?" So we were like, "Oh, okay," and we walked away. And it didn't hit us until we were outside the store that we were like, "Oh, that was a mature game for 18-year-olds. We're 12. I don't think we're gonna buy this anytime soon."
Unless your parent has you, like, you know.
Yeah,
say that.
it was his. I was with his mom, but his mom was taking his sister to somewhere else in the mall. So she was like, "Oh yeah, you guys
can go to GameStop."
Yeah, go do whatever. So she wasn't there to like buy it for us. So
that reminds me of, like, you know, all the kids that played COD. Like, my cousin played COD, and then COD created a whole generation of toxic children.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's so, like, funny to think about it. Like, all those same children. I think that actually became a snowball effect into League of Legends and all these other games. Like, League, it rolled over into, like, literally what, like, video game culture has become to be. Like, online, I think.
Yeah. Video game culture online has just become who's the most toxic and why is it League of Legends?
Yeah. No, I definitely see that too. No, I would say if we were to tier list right now, just make an improv tier list of toxic video games. So let's say League of Legends.
You go first.
Okay. I'll list down the stuff first. All right, we have League of Legends. We have Call of Duty. We have what else do we have? Battle Royales. Let's just say Battle Royales. And then we got Smash Community? Question mark? Fighting game community?
This is your tier list, not mine.
Okay, alright.
I'll give my opinions after.
I would personally say Riot Games in general. Riot game communities. Most toxic. Definitely. Top of the tier list. Of course. Because you would never get any higher than that. They were literally, I mean, no offense. They, like, most, like, people like that I've seen on those games, beyond levels. In the COD community,
COD's bad.
No. Well, yeah, that was bad before, but now COD communities, they're surprisingly wholesome. I don't know. It's so weird to think that. Like,
I still think a lot of people are going to disagree with you.
I think, yeah, I'm gonna probably get some, like, you know, contrary thoughts, but I mean. I was thinking about this too. I was telling him about this before in the car. I think more of the people in, like, you know, higher tier, like, you know, higher, or, like, you know, are at a higher level of gaming and all that. Like, they start to realize, oh, I'm good at the game. Okay, so it's more boring to think you're, like, you know, you have a big ego and all that at, like, you know, a certain point, and you realize, like, oh, you want to see more of, like, you know, other people shine at some point. So that's why, like, you know, some people at higher levels are actually a little bit more wholesome. In the middle, I feel like that's filled with the most popular, like that's the popular middle ground for a lot of people, and that's where a lot of people are just like, of course, toxic. Lower level is just as like wholesome as like a very high level. That's what I think. It's like that spectrum test, where there's like a big hill and all that. That's what I've been thinking. The bell curve. Yeah, literally the bell curve. That's honestly what I've been thinking.
All right, so your tier list then?
Tier list, Riot Games, fighting game community. I'd say a little bit more toxic than FPS games because, of course, or FPS games. I would say team-based FPS games.
Oh, so you're not giving specific games. You're giving
like Overwatch. Overwatch.
You're giving genres of games. Okay.
I would say Overwatch. Overwatch is definitely toxic.
Yeah.
More toxic than most fighting game communities.
Overwatch also isn't a fighting game.
No, but I'm just saying, like Overwatch as as a game itself.
Oh yeah.
Team shooters. Honestly, TF2.
You're saying TF2?
No, I'm not saying TF2, but I'm just saying TF2. I haven't seen too much toxic people on TF2. Maybe because I just haven't been in that realm too much, but yeah, that's what I think. Then right after Overwatch, fighting games, then we have the FPS games, bottom of the barrel. They've been somehow getting better. Weirdly enough, I don't know, but that's excluding Valorant. Valorant, oh yikes! Yikes! No. I wouldn't say anything about anything about Apex or not Apex. I keep saying Valorant. Valorant, no,
no thanks.
We're not talking about that. But yeah, that's what I personally think about each community and all that. But
is it my turn?
Huh?
Is it my turn to give my opinions?
Yeah, it is your turn to give your opinions on how you think you would tier everything.
So, right off the bat,
I'm gonna kind of spitball these and then I'll rank them in a second. I'm very biased to be. I'm inclined to pick Rocket League as one of the most toxic communities because, well, I feel like it doesn't get a lot of spotlight as one of the most toxic communities because it's such a niche. Like, you either like the game or you can't stand it.
That's true.
But when you've been playing it for as long as I have, you see a lot of toxicity, more so than like kind-hearted, good nature, or even neutral. I've probably seen 50% toxicity in one way or another in that game. Out of my over 1,000 hours of playing.
I wouldn't really know because I don't really play Rocket League, so you have to you kind of have to fill me in with this culture.
Yeah, so like you also mentioned you don't know much about TF2. I have probably more hours than you in TF2, and I have
really. Let's check that right now.
Yeah, you check it. I have yet to see any toxic people in that game.
Really?
Yeah.
In TF2?
In TF2.
Yeah.
Team Fortress?
Yeah, TF2. Yeah. Let's see.
A lot of the it's just a goofy. Everyone who plays that game is goofy.
It's literally a goofy, silly game. While Overwatch, it's more of the tryhards.
Overwatch is rough. I was on an Overwatch college team. I was on an Overwatch college team, so I was kind of required to get X amount of ranked hours in Overwatch. Mm-hmm. It was 70% of games somebody was toxic.
Yikes.
Like a good 70%. It was rough.
That's why, I don't know. I know some people know that I've tried joining some Valorant things. I just don't like I feel like the concept of some college teams for lower level college teams. Yeah. Because I was in the lower level Valorant team. They only they put in plats and all that. Mm-hmm. They just threw in so many high ranked stuff. It's hard to define who's a high rank or anything like that at that point. And we were all actually being honest and saying, "Oh yeah, we were silver" and all that.
Right.
But going back to how many hours?
Yeah.
All right, check your hours right now. I want to see. I have.
Yeah, you have more than I thought you did, so maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I have more in CS:GO. I know some people have 1K clocked in. I'm I don't know how you guys have 1K hours in CS.
I have no idea how people. Actually, in Counter-Strike, I can see it.
Yeah, I can see some people playing Counter-Strike and like, at least having so many hours clocked in.
Can I
to the point?
See my game activity? Anyway, my other while I pull this up. Actually, I think I can get it. But while I pull this up, I don't have a whole lot of experience in. Oh yeah, you have more than I do. I have 80 hours.
You have 80 hours. I have 233.
I didn't realize you played that much. Yeah, I haven't seen any toxic people in TF2.
Yeah, that's the same thing with me too. Like I've just played more hours. I think it's just more of the era that you play in, because one of the people, I think, I'd say early on are somewhat toxic, but they aren't too toxic to the degree of like actual like what was it, Overwatch or like COD in general. Because like honestly, their culture is just being silly, goofy, or just like just literally just having no knowledge, or just like just being eye for gore the entire time, or head empty.
Yeah,
that is literally the culture of TF2, honestly. But that's just era dependent, because I grew up with a very early era. That was like a very, very long time ago.
And I was just intermittently like pop in and play for a few hours and then leave. I was never super into it, but I did have a couple of days where it was just TF2.
I remember, what was it? There was like TF2 mods and like Portal mods and like Gmod, where it's like I just like I couldn't play Portal because I couldn't afford it, because TF2 was like a free to play game, and like my friend actually gave me like a copy of Gmod, and he's like, oh yeah, you can get Gmod, and I'm like, cool, I can just have an all-in-one thing. Because Gmod, you can actually play actual game, like you can literally play a source game in there without actually having to buy the game more often times than not.
Exactly.
Which was crazy to me to think about. Like you can actually do that. All you just need to do is just mod it in, and then you literally have your whole.
You're good to go.
You literally have the game with you, a source game with you. And you can just like play TF2 within like Gmod, but that gives me so many memories. Gmod.
Yeah, I've been playing Gmod. Or I started playing Gmod again recently. And provided that you're above the age of 15 and don't have a squeaky voice, you're not going to get bullied. You're not going to be a victim of toxicity.
Speaking on the topic.
Yeah, I haven't finished that list yet.
Oh yeah, well.
But that. I joined. I played a bit of TTT yesterday, and the only people who I saw got absolutely ripped to shreds were people who had squeaky voices.
That sounds about right. I think that's for like any community in general, like anybody with squeaky voices, and I think it's more prominent in Gmod because that's like they have no other.
Valve games are pretty bad about that. Yeah.
Yeah, in general.
CS:GO, I can't speak a whole lot of. League, I can't speak a whole lot of. About the toxicity side of things. But I know League is bad. The little bit that I've seen of League was neutral, but I'd say it was more leaning to bad.
Oh, just wait till the fighting game comes out for...
oh, yeah.
Oh, God. I cannot wait. I literally... The whole reason what motivates me to play fighting games in general, or play, like, solo games, like, even in Melee... Like, my whole sole purpose is to, like, literally be a vigilante for, like, the lower level players and try to destroy the people with high egos and trying to be toxic.
Yeah.
And literally put them down to the level below, like, where I'm at. It's like, stay down. I'm literally... I try to think of myself as the Batman of Slippy, or Batman of tournaments. Even though when I'm, like, I'm just literally, like, a baby... in like tournaments. I just want to be a vigilante, honestly.
With fighting games though, the thing with fighting games is you can only be so toxic before it's just either you winning and teabagging or like that. Like that's about it.
That's what I figured. It's like I've come to the mentality where like I just don't get depressed anymore. I just get more mad, and I'm like, or I just say it's like if they quit out and like like they quit out on me, I just say like you're a loser, and I just say a loser, and then I just like cope with that. That's literally how I like that's how I do, because they also aren't doing it. That doesn't do me any justice either on my end, because I like of course I just have like I just have the ego where I just want to like at least like I'm usually pretty humble about myself, and like I usually no, I like honestly I've come to the point where like I used to be a little bit toxic and like Smash and all that, and I realized like, hey, not everyone is better than me. You got to be a little bit better about yourself and stop being like toxic little boy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came to the fact where I was like, okay, I want to be a little bit more wholesome. And then the only time I bring out my toxic self is when someone is actually thinks they're better than me.
Yeah.
That's when I bring out my like toxic self. Usually I'm very humble about it. Even like I think there was like a few times in person where it's like some people thought they were better than me. Like I know this sounds toxic, but like they were trash talking me, and I was like, dude, get on the game. And then after the set ended, like they tried complaining, and they had the audacity to like try to like fist bump me. I'm like, get out of here.
They had the audacity to try to be a good sport after being a bad sport.
No, but at the same time, they were like,
no, I
does it justify like they? I feel a little bit justified for the fact like they've just like trash talking. They were jawing about their controller, or they were jawing about their character, and I'm like, bro, you literally lost.
Like, how are you gonna be a good sport after trying to trash talk?
I know exactly, and it's like he was just jawing. I'm like, dude, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even then, I was just thinking about that, but I still handshake, even though. But I try to like do as much as I can. But yeah. Anyways,
I myself am not very toxic either. When it comes to games, every now and then I'll let like something will slip out, but it'll never be anything super bad.
It's all internal.
It's just like I need to get something out, so I'll just be like a little annoying kid, if anything. But I'm not gonna spend any more than 5 seconds typing a message that's obscene.
Tank diff.
No, I hate the phrase diff.
Do you say that? No, because I know a lot of people say that, and like
I hate hearing the phrase something like blink diff.
That's the same thing with me. I'm like, dude, just like whenever I see someone on our team or see someone else on the other team say like tank diff, DPS diff, heal diff,
that is
like,
what they sound
dude,
like.
shut up! You literally are the same person who didn't do anything, but also at the same like
you're the problem.
Yeah, I mean, if I know there's a tank diff too, like I just say like shut up, like you literally aren't doing anything either. I just feel like more inclined to say that, because even though I'm holding it in that I know there was a tank diff or something in that, I usually just say like, no, dude, don't have the urge to do that.
I'll usually compliment the person who just got insulted, especially if they did.
Yeah, I know. That's the same thing, because I feel bad for some.
I'll just be like,
too.
yeah, you know what? You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, dude, just forget about what he said. Like, I feel like the same way. Like, I feel bad for some people. Especially, like, for, like, team-based games. I'm like, it's okay, dude. It's fine. Just shake it off.
It's
like,
okay.
I used to be that kind of guy in Valorant, especially. When I was, like, ranking up, because it didn't help that, like, people would just, like, just constantly be toxic. And even if people were toxic towards me, I usually say, good job, dude. And, like, somehow it would lead to a neutral thing, or it would be a little bit more positive, which is surprising. Like, just being positive, honestly, does, like, a lot more than you think it would, which, honestly, it's helped me to change and grow as a person, as a wise person on Twitter once quoted on an image. But yeah.
Now, on the contrary, my many more hours playing Rocket League led to me watching like Rocket League YouTube videos, where I don't want to get the name wrong, so I'm not gonna say it, or I'm not gonna say them because I don't for sure know who it was, but a pretty predominant Rocket League YouTuber did a test on where he and his teammate were for X amount of games really, really toxic to each other, and for X amount of games really, really nice to each other and super supportive. And they won more games when they were toxic. So
No!
I don't want to say that toxicity is the key to winning, but it's
No.
The test shows.
No, I mean, there's some psychological factors that you can say, like, some people like lead to, like, like toxicity drives things in people.
Yeah, it makes people, one, like, absolutely sick of dealing with you, but also, like, it'll get people to, like, take their anger out on the game, and just a drive to, like, I need to win this, I need to get out of here. If I lose, that just proves that their toxicity was right. If I win, I don't have to talk to them anymore. If I win fast, I definitely don't have to talk to them sooner.
Yeah.
Like, it's a funny little psychological analysis.
That's what there's, like, I don't know if you remember. You remember Evo Moment 32? Like, the one where it's, like,
No.
the one where, like, he parries everything as Ken. Search it up right now. You're gonna watch it right now. So,
all right, Evo Moment
32. I forgot what it was. Evo Moment 32. So just watch the clip, and I'll give you a description of it or just search up Evo Moment, and then it should be, I don't know.
Is it 32 or is it 37?
37, yeah, 37. Okay. This one.
Oh.
This famous one, like the one where he just parries every single thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you a little context on this. So. This was grand finals, or not grand finals, but, like, there's, like, a Japanese player who's, like, pretty angry at, like, an American player because, of course, he was playing really campy as Chun. And he parried he threw out a super thinking that he would, like, actually die to it. He parried every single hit because that's, like, an impossible feat. Jeez. And literally made history because they thought, because he was actually, like, livid during that thing. And he somehow won. Like, he did the most impossible thing. Even to this day, some people, like, really haven't been able to do that until, like, now, because people actually got really good at the game. They have gotten to, like, a certain level where they've, like, just gotten so much better.
Yeah. But, so it's Daigo versus Justin.
Yeah, Daigo. So Daigo's the guy who parried everything. But
yeah, Daigo had Chun Super does a 15 kick, is a 15 kick combo.
Yeah.
So it was 15 parries in a row to a takedown.
I'm gonna pull that up on the thing. I'm gonna pull that whole stat up. Probably, like, when I edit it, or I don't know. If I edit it for the YouTube video, I will probably put that up. But that was even crazier to me. That, like, you can just, like, what it drives people to do.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anger is really the best driving force.
Exactly. But speaking of anger in fighting games, Melee,
Melee's nothing.
Melee's nothing?
No, I was going to say something, but I'll hold off on that.
Say it.
Melee's just not a good game.
This guy.
I'll be the first to say it.
What a normie this guy is.
Melee has never been fun to play.
Yeah. Okay, this guy. I mean, it's either you love it or you hate it, which I am on the spectrum where I absolutely adore it.
Yeah.
He is on the other spectrum where he just hates it. He knows.
I'm on the spectrum of somebody asking me, hey, you want to play Melee? And I'm say sure, like a moron, because the only people who ask you to play Melee are people who are much better than you at the game. So every Melee game I would get beaten so quickly. And the controls suck. So,
I think it's just me that beat you multiple times because I've played this game multiple times.
Well, at least you admit it.
That's true. I have admitted it. Like,
fighting games like that are only fun if you play on people of your skill level.
Exactly.
And, or like, somebody better than you plays on your level.
Because I've been playing Melee even before high school, which was crazy. But I wasn't even playing... Because the optimal way to play, like, Melee is on a CRT, right?
Yeah,
because
I do know that.
I've been playing on, like, a flat screen TV with, like, 5 light years of input delay.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was dark times, honestly. Because but still, it was crazy because I learned how to do Fox Tech on it, and Fox is like one of the like fastest characters, and you can only play him optimally on like a CRT and all that. But even then, I've just been on a grind for that. I somehow got really good at Melee, even on the most scuffed setups, because I used to play Melee on online Melee before Slippy existed and before I had a good gaming rig. I played Melee on the most scuffed stuff, honestly, and it's crazy to think that that's actually led me to be really crazy today. Like, kids these days take for granted that you have all the tools for you to succeed. You have Uncle Punch, you have the training mods. I had nothing but a GameCube and an old or a flat screen TV, no CRT. I didn't play with anyone. I just learned this all on my own, and somehow I'm on the same level. Like it's funny because I've played with older people, like in my school's community, like that even graduated. They said your stuff is crazy. You have so much potential, and I'm like, I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I made it, but I feel proud to say that I've actually made it somehow, because that was like, I played before high school. High school was 4 years ago. No, 5 years ago. 6 years ago. It's hard to think about, right?
Yeah.
8 years. I think it was 8 years. Yeah, 8 years. Oh, man. It has definitely been a long time, but yeah, I cannot stop talking about Melee. You know I'm the Melee guy.
That is true. He is the Melee guy.
If you need lessons, ask me. I will coach you.
Come to think of it, that might be the reason I never liked Call of Duty either. Because why? I never had Call of Duty for myself, which is fine. I never wanted it.
True.
But whenever I would go to my friends' houses in like middle school, they would always have it and be like, "Oh man, we should play Call of Duty now that I have somebody locally to play with. We can one-on-one, we can do whatever." And I would get swept every game because I didn't play it. I didn't know the controls.
You didn't know the controls.
I didn't know the strats. I didn't know the guns. I don't know what my first shooter game was, but it was probably somebody else's Call of Duty.
Someone else's Call of Duty. That was your introduction to FPS games.
Maybe not to FPS games, but I think so, was Call of Duty. And I would get swept. And so I was just like, you know what? I don't like this game. If I'm going to get beaten by somebody who's clearly better than me every game, that's just not fun to me. So,
like, it's the mentality most of the times. Like me, I have that hardy mentality where it's like, I want to be better. And like back then when I was a junior, now I'm at the level where I'm like, okay, I want to take down people who think they are better than me. That I've established I've established myself at a point where it's like, I think I've reached somewhat of my peak. I'm trying to get up there, but still I've reached my peak to the point where I want to destroy anyone who thinks they can run across
stand
me.
In your path.
Yeah, stand in my path. I will literally take you down. I'm the gatekeeper, honestly. That's what I would call myself.
The gatekeeper.
I feel so old. I don't know. I keep saying this so many times. I feel so old.
Yeah, it's a you problem.
Don't you feel old?
I do, yeah.
Exactly. That's what I thought. But it's just us growing up. But my mentality, I think my mentality has changed over the ages and all that. But
I feel old knowing that 2010 was 13 years ago.
2010 was 13. Did you know that 2013 was 20 years ago?
I did know that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That 2013 was 20 years ago.
What is it? We're now closer to 2024 than we are to 1756.
What was it? 0 was 20,000 or 2000
2023.
2023 years ago, if you think about it.
That is true.
That's definitely true. But yeah. Before we wrap things up, do you want to talk about my mentality with Bochi the Rock?
No, that can be a different episode.
That you want to make that a different episode?
We can. If you want to talk about it.
I want to talk about it so bad. I can't fuck. Okay.
Yeah, go talk about it then.
Go talk about it. You want to introduce me or introduce the audience about what I've been rambling about for the past how long?
Probably been probably 2 months. I think 2 months might be longer. But I think 2 months is about right. But for 2 months, this little niche anime came out called
little niche anime. This guy
called Bochi the Rock, which I'd never heard of until I clicked on a message in a Discord server sent by Gabe, and it was I think it was the Bochi copy pasta that I saw for the first time.
The Bochi copy pasta. Oh yeah, Bochi copy.
That might have been the first one I saw, and then I saw it a second time just on the internet, something about the show, and then I kept hearing about it, but I didn't know anybody who actually talked about it other than Gabe. So after I got a recommendation from him to watch it a couple of times, I still haven't watched it.
And
so, but that didn't stop him from rambling on about it for legitimately 2 months straight. So that's, from my perspective, what I observed of it. Apparently it's a 9.
It's a 9 on let me look it up
MAL.
right now. MAL, let's see. MAL.
Last I checked, it was a 9.01. I think it was just barely a 9.
And that was like all time, which was surprising.
Yeah.
Me. Hold on, let me see where I can find it.
Because I'm thinking it's just another like normal slice of life, shy, soft-spoken protagonist who doesn't like talking to people. Haven't seen that 100 times.
Peak fiction. Listen to me. Okay, so let me go look at the best of all time, because top anime, and this is out of all time. Look
I'm
at this
watching.
list.
Yeah.
All right. 1, we got Bleach for this season.
What my
FMA
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood got knocked down.
FMA. Yeah, second. Of
It
course,
got knocked down by
FMA fans.
Bleach. Wait.
No, because FMA fans are FMA fans.
Yeah.
But they will always like literally say any other anime is bad, so that way they can have the top spot.
I'm shocked that Bleach got the top spot.
Yeah,
I thought Kaguya-sama was still top one.
I will be honest. I think Kaguya is kind of low key mid. Some people don't want to hear this.
I can see it. They're not ready for that discussion yet.
Yes, I know they're not ready for this, but we'll save that
episode.
for another episode. We're gonna talk about anime being mid and define what is mid.
Yeah.
All right, but that's another episode.
Steins Gate, fine. Gintama's fine.
Gintama's pretty good. Yeah, I like.
I should watch
Gintama too. I've heard good things about it, so I'm curious about it.
Gintama's a 9.07, by the way.
Yeah, and then Attack on Titan,
Gintama again.
Gintama, Hunter x Hunter, 9.
904.
I don't know what that is. Gintama again. Fruit Basket. I don't know what Fruit Baskets. I haven't seen that one.
Apparently, anybody who watches Fruit Basket is like, they know that show is good.
Yeah.
Oh, Bocchi got knocked down. Fruits Basket is...
What?
Fruits Basket, the final, is a 9.01. Bocchi the Rock is an 8.99.
No, Bocchi...
That's embarrassing.
It was 9.01. For my last check, I'm not even joking.
At one point it was.
At one point.
That was my last check of it.
Honestly, if you guys know, the slice of life kind of genre and all that, slice of life, put it into you, literally just everyone doing pretty much everything, everyday things in their lives, just having small subplots, having daily things as subplots, or daily conflicts, oh, I have to go to the supermarket, oh, I have to go go talk to a person, or it's not as big as arcs and shonen, where it's shonen is oh, I gotta train and beat this enemy or something. That
pretty much just think of you in high school, except there's a little bit more romance, and that's not you, but
romance and tension in
the
general.
listener.
Yeah, because that's rom-coms too, but that slice of life has a little bit more conflicts. Bocchi is basically a rock anime. If you guys have ever heard of the shows K-On! And then what else? I used to be a little bit of a K-On! Fan, but until controversy on Twitter that shall not be named. And then what was the other show?
Was there another rock anime? Oh, Zombieland Saga.
Zombieland was pretty good, but all those idol animes and all the other ones, I will say, Bocchi literally sweeps every single other anime, sweeps every single idol anime that's been passed. Look, I watch Idolmaster Cinderella, sweeps it. I'm just saying right now, and they've spent millions of dollars on that franchise for so much, just for it to be swept by a slice of life comedy that literally just topped the season. And this is coming from me, a big slice of life fan.
It's different, I swear.
No,
the protagonist has pink hair instead of black. So
I'm gonna give you a bit different. I know. I'm gonna give you preface into this anime before you watch it. So of course, without spoilers and all that, this anime is about.
Close your ears.
This guy. No, this guy or this girl, Bocchi, is literally.
Don't say it.
She's literally she is literally the most relatable protagonist, because all throughout her life she's just known as as like a loner or anything like that. And even if you're not like a person who's like socially outcast or anything like that, or like socially awkward, I would say that you still feel bad for her, or you still have some feelings that do resonate with her, and like you want to cheer her on because you've been in the same position. But Bochi, to say the least, she's like an introvert. She wants to go out into the world, and then she tries her hardest, but it's hard for her each and every single time. She finds a guitar. This sounds corny at first. She's like there's like this band that says like, oh yeah, this is a band where introverts can shine. Like she sees like One Direction on TV say, it's like, oh yeah, like you can shine with us too. You can just join a band. And she's like, hey dad, can I borrow your guitar? And it's so corny because it sounded corny at first because it's like, oh, she literally got a guitar. And like in the beginning of the show, I was like, this is corny. And then afterwards, you see a little bit more of it like develop, because at the first part it's like, oh, I feel bad for her, and it's like, oh, this is corny. And then afterwards you see how much better it it gets better and better. Like they start rolling the ball within the first episode. It's like, this is okay, I probably might give it a watch. Second episode, the balls keeps rolling and rolling, and it gets you hooked. Like it's so good because it handles, like I've been watching every single like thing, and also I did a personal review on this like multiple times, but check my Twitter for that.
I created a My Anime List account specifically to write a review on Bochi.
I had to log into my old MAL account just to rate it a 10 out of 10. I'm not even joking.
I said that as a joke.
No, I did. I rated it a 10 out of 10. Saying yes, it's literally goated.
Yeah.
Because it's better than Can. But I mean, it tackles... it works so well. It's better music. It's pretty good music.
I love the tagline being better than this show.
It is. I'm just saying it's better than the original concept because K-On! Conceptualized it. Now, it's just a better protagonist, a more relatable protagonist, because of course she's human. It's not to the point where they degrade her. It's just more to the point where it's like, you realize, oh, she's like really relatable, and they like try to make that like kind of relatability, or like that pain that she has, like more comedic than like just awkward, because you kind of look back at that and then you kind of relate that to yourself, and it's like, oh, I was like that. And it's so over the top because they have so many like distinct art styles, and like like they try to depict like social anxiety in so many unique ways that it like, I was like, that was me at one point.
Do you think, I was going to ask you, do you think that the social anxiety aspect that's
Shown off is a good example of social anxiety?
I would say it's depicted in a very colorful and great way that like it just brings more awareness, especially to like some people who aren't like pretty much aware of that in that some cases, because like even then I've noticed like some people that like have like that aren't like socially like inept or like anxious about like certain situations. I told them, go watch this anime, because even for people who say, hey, can I want to get into anime, what should I watch to like get back in? I was like, just recommend them Bochi. They said, oh, she's such a cute character, even though like they aren't like like they're more like outgoing and all that. There's even an outgoing character in that thing, which like,
oh, but wasn't the band supposed to be for introverts only?
That's what I'm saying, but it's still, there's so many different characters and all that. Besides Bochi, let's not focus the light on Bochi. There's so many other characters that literally have really good chemistry. I would say some other person on YouTube put it as like if you were to put these characters in any other anime besides like a rock anime like Bochi, if you put their dynamic with each other in like a whole different like anime and all that, they work so much better, because it's like they bounce back off of each other, like they understand each other, like of course like they have their great moments with each other, and like I feel the same way with Bochi. Like every moment doesn't feel as dull and all that. And that's like, just for slice of life, because slice of life, it tends to be like the boring genre in general.
Yeah.
Like, literally the black sheep out of all genres.
Yeah, Bocchi the Rock could be the new One Piece.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, I mean, I will say, as much as I relate with Bocchi, I am not. I used to be Bocchi kind of, but I'm more of currently now. No joke, Rio, the blue haired girl. She's like the more quiet, or like she's more of the one who's inclined to be alone. Like literally the Sigma.
She's more introvert than social anxiety.
Yeah, she's more introvert, like the Sigma male.
Ew,
kind
people.
Of thing. Yeah, exact. There's someone who made a meme about that. It's like,
I saw it.
Yeah, that one. Ew, introvert. That's
the
literally
difference
me.
between introvert and
literally
social anxiety.
Me. Like, as much as I say it, like I'm literally Bocchi, I even made a meme about it. Like, I announced it. I'm gonna tell you guys about this later, like in just like a minute. But like, I feel like I resonate with her a little bit more. Like, honestly, I'm just like that type of guy who's just like in the corner. It's just like cool. And I just go on Twitter, and I really don't I don't have that many thoughts other than it's like I just want to go back.
Want to go back
without having any regrets,
Let me leave.
She barely has any regrets throughout the entire thing. But other than that, I think that's gonna be it for this week of my rant with thing. Before we finish up, I did make an announcement that I actually read the Bocchi thing at a tournament to one of my TOs, my tournament organizers, at a Smash thing. Frank, if you're listening to this, I love you, guys. My man, I love you. Great guy. Other than that, yeah, I said that he gave me $10 because he said, "Oh, remember the whole entire thing." I did not get through the entire thing because
so sad.
It just cut off for a second because I was too busy commentating. I was too much in the commentating mindset because I was just exhausted at that point on commentating because I had to wake up like so early. I only had like 4 hours or I think it was like 5 hours of sleep that day, as I spent all night. Like, I think I was talking to you or someone else that night.
Oh yeah,
and then.
It might have been me. I think I do remember that.
I think it was you. But other than that, we did that. I got $10. I did the Boch. I'll list it on screen right now. I read this whole entire thing, and Enzo remembers about it.
He did read it to me.
Yes,
after the.
I read it. I will do it on stream. I will add a button right now.
I'll start streaming again.
Look,
just so I can do this.
Well, do you think I should offer gift subs as a compilation?
I don't think you should have people gift you
I don't
subs.
Think I should gift subs.
Oh,
I don't know, because that's gonna be bad on me because I will lose money.
You also don't stream, so they're getting gift subs to nothing.
It's true. Or whoever spends their channel, I will make it a ridiculously amount of points. If I get it wrong, I will gift a sub to the person who said that, or whoever redeemed their points.
Yeah.
But I highly doubt that I will not lose that at that point because I have been on a roll with that, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Is that going to close out already?
That's going to be closing. Do you have any other statements that you would like to bring to the table before we actually do close out this episode?
Yeah, I'm hoping this will be a little more organized for next episode.
I know.
This is just the intro episode, so we're just kind of we're getting our bearings, but we're also just having fun.
Yeah, I know. Well,
we can get away with having fun in the first episode.
I feel like
that's okay.
I feel like this is probably going to set the stage for at least a few other episodes because I feel like I also want to have a little bit more fun too. But other than that, we're going to definitely try to get this a little bit more organized because this was a little impromptu.
Yeah, well, it was fun. It's fun being impromptu.
But yeah, it was definitely fun. I definitely enjoyed having time because we recorded this whole entire sesh, and of course you guys get a little bit of insight into this. But for now that is gonna be it. We're at an hour mark,
hour and then some.
Wow, that is really long. We've been recording for that long, but
yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
yeah, other than that, thanks for tuning in, guys.
That's everything from me. So
yeah, that's definitely going to be it. We have no sponsors for this stream or this podcast, unfortunately, because we haven't gotten to that point. But on that, we hope you guys can tune in next week or another week. I don't know if we're going to have another week. Probably in the next podcast. Let's just say episode.
Yeah, the audio will probably be different next time.
Yeah, we'll probably have a little bit better because we're moving. We're like I said again, we're filming this in the basement, but we're gonna be doing this over Discord. So we'll see how things change because we're gonna have a little bit more changes. But other than that, thanks for tuning in, guys. That's gonna be it for the first episode. Thank you for tuning into Corner of the Party. The first episode titled. What was the first title?
They don't know we have a podcast.
They don't know we started a podcast. Yeah, that one. I keep forgetting it myself, but...
Thanks for tuning in to episode 1. Hope you enjoyed it.
All right, bye.
See you guys later.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.